Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be talking about trading plans. Okay, so what is a trading plan and why do people talk about it? Here's my 2 cents. Having a trading plan prevents you from being damaged by being emotional about trading. Now, the reason I say this is anytime you look at people who trade on the stock market, a lot of times they'll be posting on social media, whether that be Twitter, StockTwits, Reddit, anywhere. And a lot of the time, you can tell that people damage their trade because they got emotional about it. They'll complain because the stock isn't going up or the stock isn't going down. It goes both ways. But here's what I found some real value in how I trade. Now, again, everyone's different. Think about the kind of things that would help you. But first, going back to building a trading plan, it's there to establish helpful rules and details for you. This is specifically for you and for how you approach trading. Anything that consistently helps you trade successfully is worth considering. And this should match specific strategies. So, for example, I do everything from long term investing, like for my retirement through a Roth IRA. I also have a 401k, as well as a traditional IRA. And then on top of that, I do some swing trading, short term investing, if you will, more trading, if you ask me. And then on top of that, I do day trading. So each strategy requires different approaches and has different rules. So when I approach each of them individually depending on what I'm attempting to do, although some of the rules are interchangeable. Now, entries and exits. Nobody fully knows how high or low a stock's going to go. None of us do. We all want to pretend like we know, and that's just garbage. It's BS. So let me put this little nugget out there for you to decide what works best for you. Some people don't do a good job of setting a stop loss and accepting when that stop loss is hit. Other people say, oh, I'm going to use a mental stop. If it drops below this, then I'll sell it. But then they don't. They end up holding it and become a bag holder in it. My 2 cents is this: figure out which one is more consistent for you. I personally don't like hard stops. The reason I don't is because I get wiped out in trades occasionally when I'm willing to take a bigger risk and wait something out. So, me personally, I avoid it. But I have an idea, the general levels where I'll be exiting, whether that be above my target or below my target. So keep that in mind. You should plan for both scenarios. Now, just to give you an example of my current trading plan each day, mine has mostly got to do with me trading for that day rather than what I'm actually doing during the trade in that day. So be prepared for the day. Am I awake? Have I gotten dressed? I work from home now most of the time. And so, because of that, it's easy to roll out of bed and not get dressed. But when I get dressed, I'm more prepared for the day. Movement. It's a big thing if I can take a walk, kind of get a little bit of blood flow going and kind of be a little more mentally awake because of that. And then I also like to kind of meditate before I go into the trade because it can be high stress. I love to listen to sounds of the ocean before I trade because it puts me in a calm mood. Most of the time I listen to rock or metal, but in that particular case, that helps kind of ease my mind and help me relax. Then I ask myself, am I mentally ready to trade today? There are some days where you want to do something, some days where you don't. If I feel off, I skip that day. You know what? I didn't lose any money. I didn't get emotional. I love trading, and most days I am prepared. But if I feel I'm not, if something's off, something's not jiving in life in general, sometimes I will forego trading just because it's better. Don't force any trades. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I hear from all of my friends, colleagues, anyone I come across, especially those who do a lot of day trading, it seems to keep coming back and keeps being a thing. They're forcing trades. Nothing forces you to trade, okay? Even if you're doing this full time, if the trade setup is not there for you, you don't have to trade it and you shouldn't. Because when I force it, I lose almost every time. Once in a while, I'll get lucky, but it's amazing how often when I force a trade, how much I lose and how badly it goes. Just it's bad. So for me, it's important not to force trades. Then the other thing for me is when you're done, walk away. I talk about stocks constantly. It's always on my mind. You know, the stock market it's addicting, it's fun in that way. But when I'm done with the trade, whether I win or lose, it's best for me if I set everything down and walk away. Finally, I always put review my rules. Every day before I trade, I look at these to make sure I really am mentally and physically prepared to trade for that day. All of these things have contributed to being a lot more consistent. It's like anything else. Building consistency is the key to profiting from it. So just putting it out there, stay mentally sharp. Do what works for you. Figure out what those things are and list them. And don't be afraid to tune these specifically to your weaknesses. Because guess what? All of us fail trades because of our own individual weaknesses. Figure out what those are, and then you can diagnose how to correct them. Hope this helps. Hope to see you around real soon. See ya.